Good morning, everyone. Let us now proceed to our third topic, which is the artifacts of Southeast Asia. For our most essential learning competency, reflects on and derive the mood, idea, or message from selected artifacts and art objects. And for our objectives, identify artifacts that belong to Southeast Asia. Recognize the importance of different artifacts in Southeast Asia. I provided guide questions for you to ponder as we tackle our topic. What is an artifact? Why are artifacts important to archaeologists? What can we learn from artifacts? And how do artifacts reflect culture? For your pre-assessment, you may get any sheet of paper and write true if the statement is correct and false if the statement is incorrect. Number 1. Excavation is the process of uncovering artifacts by digging. Number 2. A personal computer is a significant cultural artifact. Number 3. In archaeology, an artifact is an object made or modified by a human culture. Number 4. Some artifacts are stone tools, pottery wheels, jewelry, and clothing. Number 5. Artifacts are the touchstones that bring memories and meanings to life. And number 6, artifact is a combination of two Latin words, arte, meaning by skill, and factum, which means to make. And now, let us proceed to our formal discussion. Artifact is a combination of two Latin words, arte, meaning by skill, and factum, which means to make. The art of Indochina and the East Indies, called Southeast Asian art, includes the lands of Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Singapore. The Philippines are sometimes included as being on the far reaches of eastern Southeast Asia. The cultures of Southeast Asia are marked and influenced by several outside factors. On the other hand, they are historically overshadowed by the greatest empires of nearby India and China. And on the other, they have been colonized and suppressed by a variety of different nations, all of different cultures and languages, as in the Vietnam and the French, the Dutch in Indonesia, and the Americans, English, Portuguese, and Spanish in other regions and nations. This gives Southeast Asia, on one hand, a background of shared influences and on other, entirely differing influences. Let us visit once again the beautiful country of Thailand. In this slide, you can see a gilt bronze and red lacquer decorated or also known as the Parinirvana reclining Buddha, heavily cast above a three-tiered lotus pedestal decorated with intense floral motifs with flaming borders. The Buddha lying peacefully on his right side with the right arm and supporting the head and the left resting gently at the side, wearing an elaborately decorated floral sangati with beaded motifs flowing onto the pedestal. His face with a serene expression, flanked by a pair of elongated earlobes and framed by curly hair surmounting a flaming auspicious stand. The term parinirvana literally translates as nirvana after death. Accounts on the purported events are found in a wide range of Buddhist canonical literature and further described in a number of later works, such as Sanskrit Buddhakarita, whereby selected extracts of the parinirvana of Sakyamuni Buddha. Buddhists celebrate Parinirvana Day by meditating or by going to Buddhist temples or monasteries. As with other Buddhist festivals, celebrations vary throughout the world. In monasteries, Parinirvana Day is treated as a social occasion. Food is prepared and some people are bringing presents such as money, household goods, or clothes. The day is used as an opportunity to reflect on the fact of one's own future death and on friends or relations who have recently passed away. The idea that all things are transient is central to Buddhist teaching. Loss and impermanence are things to be accepted rather than causes of grief. Meditation are carried out for the newly deceased to give them help and support wherever they might be now. Let us also discover the artifact of Laos. This is the Buddhist sculpture during the Sukhothai period. Artisans in Laos are skilled metalsmiths, sculpting in bronze, gold, and silver. Most castings are small sculptures and items, but as in the case of the Frasai, a large golden statue of the Buddha, large images are sometimes created. Here's a little background of the story of Frasai. Legends say that three daughters of Sethariat, the king of Lenshan, commissioned three personal Buddha images. These images were believed to reflect the faces of the three daughters of the king. All of them were given names relating to the names of the three princesses, Frasarm, Frasuk, and Frasai. An illustrative and large mural can be seen at Wat Po Chai. The mural was painted to record this historic event. In a stormy night, Prasuk fell into the Mekong River while in transit to Nong Khai. The two surviving and remaining Buddha images were placed in Nong Khai's Wat Pho Chai and Wat Hoc Long. King Rama IV ordered that the image of Frasarm should be taken to Bangkok. Only Frasai was left in Wat Pho Chai. And now, let us proceed to Cambodia. This is the stone carving in Cambodia. Stone carving in Cambodia is intricate, detailed, and narrative. The detail is so fine that the individual leaves are carved from trees, yet even tinier details are made possible by the carver. Art in Cambodia is re-emerging through the strength and will of a formidable people. Following the genocide practiced by their government on their people, artistic revival is being reinvigorated and renewed. Let's also discover the artifact of Malaysia. The bronze bell in Malaysia was declared a national heritage under the National Heritage Act 2005 in 2009. This object is sometimes referred to as the Dongson Bell only because it is said to be from Vietnam. The physical design of the bronze bell consists of the head and the body. The head part's position is somewhat isolated as if it is separated by a curve that seems to be the boundary that separates the body part and the part of the bell, and it widens toward the lower parts of its cylindrical body shape. This type of bronze bell has no handle. It may be carried by holding or tying at the curved part between the head and the body of the bell. Usually, the body part of the bronze bell is illustrated with decorative motifs and patterns. Let's proceed to Indonesia. The Indonesian Keris is internationally praised for its magical powers. Since time immemorial in the Malay people have used the Keris in traditional rituals and ceremonies. Therefore, its primary function is not of a thrusting weapon but rather a ritual instrument. This means that the Keris is considered a sacred object. What do you think is the artifact of Vietnam? Gongs are believed to be inhabited by spirits and represent a form of communication between humans and the spirit world. A person who possesses many gongs is highly respected, not because of wealth, but because they are protected by many spirits. All Vietnamese families own or have access to gongs. Often, several people in the village will gather together with a variety of gongs. As an example, with gongs ranging from 10 inches to 31 inches in diameter. It is often used during significant feasts such as festivals, the birth of a child, the death of a family member, weddings, and even repairs to the house. Their tone is bright and bell-like for smaller gongs, moving to a richer tone for the larger gongs. There is a reasonable sustain but not prolonged. Again, the best is obtained when played piano to mezzo forte. Anything louder tends to jar with a sharp sound and the sustain immediately returns to that associated with more gentle playing. And let's tackle our very own Philippines. The Manunggal jar was only of several stunning artifacts discovered in Chamber Manunggal Cave in Lipun Point, Palawan by a group of archaeologists who investigated the site from 1962 to 1965. The lid features a spirit boat or ship of the dead, carrying two souls on a journey to the afterlife. How about East Timor? The island of East Timor gave rise to a distinctive tradition of dance masks whose precise origins and significance remain uncertain. What information exists suggests that many of the masks originated in Timor-Leste or East Timor, portraying both male and female ancestors. They were worn by men during dances and other ceremonies, including celebrations of victory in war. The present mask has no eye holes, and the wearer would have looked through the mouth. Some masks were made from the perishable materials, but wood examples such as this deeply patinated work were preserved and reused many times. And our last stop, Myanmar. Cast in the 15th century, the Dhamazedi bell was, according to popular legend, placed alongside the gleaming gold Shwedagon Pagoda, the most sacred Buddhist site in Myanmar, also known as Burma, said to have been made of copper, gold, and silver. The bell is reported to have weighed nearly 300 tons or 661,400 pounds. In the years that followed, the legend of the bell has endured and recovering it has become a point of both Buddhist and Burmese national pride. There have been at least 7 serious attempts in the last 25 years. Some have involved international teams and sophisticated underwater equipment, but to date, no one has been able to accurately pinpoint where the huge bell is. So for our generalization, artifact is a combination of two Latin words arte, meaning by skill, and factum, which means to make. Usually, when you use the word artifact, you are describing something crafted that was used for a particular purpose during a much earlier time. In history, when we say objects, we mean artifacts, that is, things made by people rather than natural objects. They provide archaeological evidence and can have various forms, from something tiny like a button to a huge building or ruins. For your activity entitled What is it? You have to complete the crossword by filling in a word that fits each clue. Match the number to the sentences to the boxes placed across or down the grid. If filled out correctly, the words will fit neatly into the puzzle. This will be your guide in answering the crossword puzzle. Choose the correct answer from the box given below. And for additional information, you may use these references. For our food for thought, man is an artifact designed for space travel. He is not designed to remain in his present biologic state any more than a tadpole is designed to remain a tadpole, by William S. Burroughs. Thank you so much for listening and happy learning!